Hi there, I'm Andrew, the writer and coach behind Religious Trauma Sucks. Today we have the pressure to become a new you and how it is a form of self erasure. Does the phrase new year, new you land like a shockwave in your nervous system? I remember it so clearly, sitting in the cushioned rows of a church in Washington a few days into the new year. The sermon was this distasteful blend between secular ambition and sacred texts. This familiar buzz of New Year, New You capitalism, normally in gym ads and diet commercials, was being repackaged from the pulpit, seamlessly woven into verses like, Behold, I am making all things new. It was the same energy that fueled the annual 21-day fasts, which were promoted as spiritual disciplines, but with a knowing wink and subtle nod toward the waistline. For many of us, especially those who have survived high control environments, this season doesn't feel like a fresh start. It feels like a performance review that we're doomed to fail, and it arrives with this quiet, familiar dread. I wonder if that's the experience that you're having this year, and if so, you are not alone. And there is a very good reason for that feeling. It's a pattern of control. In a previous post, The Playbook of Control, I named this tactic imposed identity and the erasure of self. The playbook describes it this way: the ultimate goal of a high control system is not merely to control your behavior, but to dismantle your authentic self and replace it with a new system approved identity. For those of us who grew up in high control theological frameworks, this language is pervasive. And I wonder if any of these sound familiar. You need to die to yourself. You need to put to death the old person and sinful ways and become a new creation. In these systems, the self was not someone to be known, trusted, or integrated. It was the enemy, and your thoughts, feelings, and desires were deemed untrustworthy. Your very being was a before picture, waiting to be annihilated so a more acceptable after picture could take its place. This is the ideology of self erasure. When we see it mirrored in the culture, especially in the New Year, New You marketing narratives, our bodies remember those. Our nervous systems recognize the pattern. The message, whether from the pulpit or a marketing ad, is the same. You, as you are right now, are not enough, and you need to be replaced. This is quiet violence against the self. It severs the sacred trust you have with your own body and your own experience. It reinforces the all or nothing pass fail thinking that high control systems thrive on. It suggests that growth is not about integration, but about removal. The new year does not have to launch an unsustainable sprint to change the person you are. What if you don't need to be erased? What if the parts of you that feel messy or broken are not shameful flaws to be destroyed, but are tender messengers asking for your attention? What if growth isn't about becoming a new you, but about having the courage to finally come home to the you that has been there all along? Instead of performance based resolutions, we can lean into gentle intentions, intentions rooted in self compassion and a deep honoring of our shared humanity. When we accept that struggling and faltering and the feeling tender are universal human experiences, not personal or moral failures, we can let go of the shame that isolates us. We no longer carry the heavy burden of pass fail resolutions, which is the exact same type of performance based religiosity so many of us endured in high control systems. When we move toward our intentions with self compassion, that's where change happens. Not through erasure, but through integration. Not through shame, but through safety. Your anxiety is not a character flaw to be removed. It is a part of you holding a story and likely trying to keep you safe. Your sadness is not a sin. It is a testament to your ability to love and to lose. Your exhaustion is not laziness. It is a wise signal from a body that has carried too much for too long. You do not need to perform a self renovation project for public approval. You need to practice a gentle return to your own sacred, inherent, and permanent wholeness. I'd like to offer a gentle embodiment practice, this one called the compassionate noticing. This is a practice of shifting from judgment to watching. It is a way to listen to yourself instead of trying to fix yourself. As always, consent is key. If this practice doesn't feel safe or welcome, please feel free to skip along. If it does feel safe, I invite you to find a quiet moment, to sit down or lie down in a comfortable position, and you're welcome to close your eyes if that feels safe. I invite you to place one hand on your chest and one on your stomach. This provides a gentle, physical anchor to the present moment. Take 3 slow, soft breaths. You don't need to force them. Instead of asking yourself, what is wrong with me, or what do I need to change, silently ask your body, what is here right now? Without judgment, just notice what arises. Maybe it's anxiety is here, sadness is here, a flutter of hope is here. You don't have to do anything about it. The goal is not to change the feeling, but to acknowledge its presence with gentleness. You are simply letting yourself be seen by you. Take one more breath, and I invite you to offer gratitude to your body for its honest communication. You are not a problem to be solved. You are a someone to be known, trusted, and integrated. The pressure to become a new you is a myth rooted in systems that profit from your self abandonment. You are not a before picture. You are a whole person right now in this moment. Your worth is inherent and permanent and completely yours. Let us move in a way where we can shift away from the rigid cage of resolutions and toward the gentle compass of our own sacred intentions. You deserve to approach the turning of the calendar year with dignity, not dread. Over the next few weeks, we'll continue to explore this theme. And to support this journey, I've poured my research and practice into a new guide called Resolutions Without Shame, which is available now to all of my paid subscribers as a resource, and I will be sharing more about this next week. Thank you so much for being here. Take care.